Hey gang, what does that say? Function tables. Maybe you've seen these before, maybe you haven't. But this is what we're going to try today, something a little bit new. Here's the thing to know about a function table. You put something in, and you get something different out. All right? So I remember we were talking about social studies, and I think we read a little bit about the steel industry, and you make steel in a factory, right? So there's 3 ingredients when you make steel. You got to have coal, you got to have iron, and you got to have limestone. So if you put all these things together and you heat it up, what do you get back out? You get steel. Got it? So you put something in, you get something different out, okay? So that's a function table. Let me show you some examples of some, okay? All right, let's start with this one here. Hey, if you want to take a picture, if you want to copy it down real quick, that's fine. If you just want to follow along, you're gonna do a couple practice ones on your own when we're done, but just follow along for a minute, okay? And if you want to grab a calculator too, that'd be great. All right, so like I said, you're gonna put something in, you get something different back out, all right? And there's a rule that goes with each function table that kind of tells you how you go from this to that. So this rule says X, and these are all my X's. My X is going to be my output. Hey, remember that from yesterday? Aren't those the variables, right? Like when we do algebra stuff. So these are all my Y's over here. These are all my X's. So if you put a Y in, you're going to get an X back out, all right? So it says that the X column is really take the Y and add 17, okay? So let's take the first input. Well, if we have 12, that's my Y. So if I add 17, I can just squeeze this in here. 12 plus 17. If you don't know it, you can type it in. 12 plus 17 is 29. But that's the rule I have to follow. I have to add 17 there, okay? Let's try 21. So 21 now is the new Y. So 21 plus 17, I can type it in. 21 plus 17, 38. If I put in a 92, what do I get back out? Well, let's take my 92, do what we normally do. Add 17, 109. Wait a minute, I think I made a mistake. This doesn't have an input, it has an output. I guess I made a mistake, huh? There's no way we can figure it out, can we? Because every time we have to add to get this number. But this kind of has the answer. I guess we don't know what it started with. Unless we can work backwards. What's the opposite of adding 17? Can we take this number, 146, and since we're going backwards, let's do the opposite. Not plus 17, let's minus 17. 129. So if it ever gives you the output, just do the opposite so you can get back to what you started, okay? Let's go over here. Different table, different rule, okay? Still X's here, still Y's over here. This is still my input, this is still my output. It says, in order to find the Y, which is the output, you take the X divided by 3. So X divided by 3. So I have to take 45, I'm going to squeeze in a little divided by 3 to show my work. So 45 divided by 3, 15. Same here. 300 divided by 3 is 100. 78 divided by 3 is 26. So I showed all that. Oh, wait a minute. I messed up again. We've got an output, but we don't know what the input was. We can't do it, can we? Hey, maybe we could work backwards again. instead of dividing by 3, what if we do the opposite? Can't we maybe times by 3? Tell me what you get for that. 20 times 3 is 60, okay? So we had to go backwards, so we did the opposite. We did times 3. All right, let's go down here. All right, now this one's a little different. This says the input has a new variable. This is called an A, and the output's always going to be the B. So they're saying take the A and add 26 to get the B. So 14 is my first A. 14 plus 26, I got 40. What happens if you put in 203? We'll add 206. 203 plus 26, 229. If you put in 75 and you add 26, 101. Uh-oh. It's got the output. We don't know the input. What can we do? Let's do the opposite. Instead of plus 26, do minus 26. Type those in, see what you get real quick. 325 minus 26, 299. 200 minus 26. Type that in wrong. 200 minus 26. There you go, 174. So sometimes if they give you the output, just go backwards, okay? All right, last one. Hey, do you remember this from yesterday? Algebra? What's it called when you have a number up against a variable, up against a letter? This says 4a, right? So this is going to be 4 times a to get the b. So let's take all the a's, times them by 4, and that's how we'll get the output, okay? All right, well, you know this one. 6 times 4 is 24, right? Same thing. Now we have a 19 as our a. So 4 times 19 . 76. How about 35 times 4? 140. Last but not least, 7 is the new A. So let's take 7 times 4. You got it, 28. Hey, here's a little bonus. What if I give you an output of 200? What would you do? Well, you got to work backwards. Instead of times 4, maybe you should divide by 4. So let's type in 200 divided by 4. Work backwards. Okay? All right. Those are function tables. Okay? Put something in, get something else back out, but follow the rule every time. Okay? I've got a few for you to put on. Like I said, you can use a calculator, but try to show your work. Okay? It's okay to squeeze it in the margins there. All right? All right. Go get them.